Morning, afternoon, evening to everyone. Thank you, Kamesh, for that very long and rather flattering introduction, which I don't really deserve. But it's a great pleasure to join all of you, Mr. Mumin Chen, for your very sharp and pointed address this morning. And I look forward to some time to catch up with you in Delhi. I'm actually currently speaking from Guwahati in the northeast, and I'm also very strong participation from India, quite apart from the very distinguished speakers that we have here. Mr. Jack, am I audible and is it all right, the sound? Because
Yep.
I'm speaking from a hotel. All right. Great.
Yep, please.
So it's really a great honor and privilege for me to be addressing this forum on bamboo tech. Although, like Mr. Homin Chen, I am far away from the world of bamboo. Still, as a person who has devoted my lifetime to diplomatic India, and more lately I'm involved in livelihood, environment, and development issues. Mr. Mumin Chen also described is multifarious. Every part of the bamboo can be used, but is not necessarily used all the time. So we are from a region which is abundant in bamboo, but the utilization of bamboo is still rather basic, rather rudimentary, very traditional. And the bamboo industry in our part of the world has not developed to the same extent as we see in parts of Southeast Asia, China, Taiwan, and Indonesia, even Vietnam, particularly in its uses in architecture and many other things. But I'll come back to that. Let me first start by saying how important this event is in terms of our overall relations with Taiwan as well. As you know, we do not have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but are well represented by our two trade and cultural offices in Taipei and in New Delhi. And we are glad to have Mr. Mumin Chen here representing the Taipei office in New Delhi. But Taiwan has been an integral part of our Look East policy since it was announced in 1991 and has been upgraded to what we call an Act East policy, which is a kind of relationship that India has been trying to cultivate with the countries of Southeast and East Asia. And very recently, in fact, that has been dovetailed to what we call our Indo-Pacific strategy, an Indo-Pacific strategy that actually brings us closer to the Taiwan, both through the maritime route, but also I will really talk to you about the terrestrial route, where bamboo can play a very big role. And you all know that very recently the Indo-Pacific concept also got a big boost with the summit level meeting of the Quad group of countries, which are the leaders of India, Japan, the United States and Australia. Until recently, this formation of four countries had only met up to the level of foreign ministers. This is the first time that it has been upgraded to a summit level. So clearly this is now becoming a very strategic relationship that we are having with the countries of East Asia through the Indo-Pacific. Taiwan is also important to us, and you know that very well, in terms of its economic and cultural relationship. We look to Taiwan for advanced technologies. We look to Taiwan for investments into India. And we also admire and respect Taiwan as a great democracy in East Asia. And finally, of course, it's a country that, despite the challenges, has held its head high in the international community. So overall, our relationship with Taiwan is a very, very important relationship. And we are committed to strengthening this relationship, particularly in its economic dimension. And one of the ways that can be done is through bamboo. So I will really devote a little time to the role that bamboo could play in our bilateral relationship. Now, many of you probably know when we talk about the Indo-Pacific, when we talked about Act East, a lot of this relationship is coming from trade. And by and large, it's a very heavily maritime relationship linked to the global and regional value chains. But what is often forgotten is the terrestrial link between India and East Asia and Southeast Asia. And that terrestrial link actually starts from the northeast of India, from Guwahati, where I'm currently sitting, through our four border states of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram, and then onward to Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and finally Vietnam. And from Vietnam, in fact, it launches onto the South China Sea and to the East China Sea and the Pacific in general. Now, as you all know, it's an area of great biological and cultural diversity. And the synergy between the biological and cultural diversity produces a range of products, whether they are food products or crafts or architectural and other traditional, we can also call them innovations of a sort. So it's an area of great biological and cultural wealth. And bamboo is just one component of that great wealth. And bamboo is common to this entire region, from the northeast of India, which is one of the biggest sort of producers of bamboo in India, all the way up to Vietnam, and as you know, up to in China as well as in Taiwan. So when we look at our maritime trade relationship, a lot of this is founded on big industry, on big investments, on big companies, mega projects, power ports, and so on. But the terrestrial route would actually link our peoples together through their livelihoods, which depend to some extent on agriculture, forest resources, fishing, livestock, and as you know, particularly in rural parts of Southeast Asia and northeast of India, these are all very integrated and very linked. So I would like to be able to see a kind of India-Taiwan relationship developing around adding value to the bamboo resources of not just India or the northeast of India, but linking the northeast of India through the land route all the way into Southeast Asia and the South China Sea and East Asia, especially Taiwan, because we know that Taiwan is one of the leaders in bamboo technology. Taiwanese bamboo technology has been experimented with in India. There have been some problems in the past, but we do believe that these are problems that can be fixed. And we would like to be able to work together with you in finding the right kinds of technologies for the kind of bamboos that we use, and to be able to bring skills as well as know-how to our villages where they are used the most. I personally am involved in a private personal experience, just working with the standard bamboo skills of a village where we are setting up our house. And we have just been able to introduce little innovations about uses of bamboo for decorative purposes, because by and large, bamboo is used for very functional purposes, and the aesthetic use of bamboo has also tended to be undervalued. Not only the aesthetic uses, but also the design use in general. We see great bamboo design coming out of Japan, Taiwan. Now, we see great bamboo design in Southeast Asia as well. But that bamboo design has not yet reached India. So we are looking for really a great infusion of design talent in bamboo, of know-how, of technology. And we would like to be able to bring this right down to the villages. In other words, we should think of a model that is as decentralized as possible, even as we use scale and we try to build on scale, that is as decentralized as possible. So I really do see, a kind of terrestrial link between India through the northeast to Southeast and East Asia, through what I call are the livelihoods of people, which are agriculture, livestock, fishing, forest resources, including bamboo. And this would be a relationship that would be through the stomachs of the people. It will not be, and it will involve the grassroots. It will involve ordinary people. And this would be the strongest relationship. The strongest people-to-people relationship is a business relationship in many ways. People tend to think of people-to-people relationship as culture, education, tourism, but all these fail comparison in terms of the depth and substance that we can bring through economic ties, business relations. And we don't have to think in terms of belt and road and infrastructure when we can think of adding value to people's lives and creating employment and generating entrepreneurship and getting linked through business in ways that really matter to people. So with those words, I would like to thank you for listening to me. I hope I could make some sense to the expert audience that we have. And I wish both the Chenchung University as well as the South Asia Bamboo Forum great success in this event. I regret I would have liked to stay for the whole event, but I'm traveling by road to another part of the Northeast shortly after this, but I'll stay as long as I can. Thank you very much.